Be ready. 5 seconds.
The modern Olympic Games are leading sports events featuring summer and winter sports competitions in which thousands of athletes from around the world participate. India has the world's largest population, and India is the ninth largest economy. We also have the biggest democratic existence. The question arises, despite having a population of over a billion, why India lags behind in the race of Olympic glory. Every Indian knows that India's strike rate at the Olympics has been less than encouraging. After a century since its first participation in Olympics, India has merely 28 medals to its name. The United States of America, on the other hand, leads the medal tally. This clearly is not the case of population of a country which can be said is directly proportional to the number of medals. India has managed to put a man in space, led many scientific discoveries, forced the world to acknowledge India's stride in the field of defense and science and technology. Indian cricket team is considered to be one of the world's best teams. Why are we not able to bring the same dedication and integrity to sports in general and the Olympic Games in particular? In fact, being the second most populous and the most democratic country in the world hinders our attempts to harvest a rich haul of medals at the Olympics. Now, let me discuss this in detail. Where does India lack in the Olympic competition? We give a lot of importance to cricket. We as a country are obsessed with a singular sport, and that is cricket. It is only during major events like Olympics when other sports are given a part of the limelight and fan cheering. For the rest of the year, we stay ignorant of who's who of other sports. They are promoted less, and there are fewer sponsors for the other sports. There are even less fans hooting and cheering them to do better. Sir, we do lack proper infrastructure, and sports infrastructure in particular, for training and practice sessions of athletes that could make them more competent and well equipped to deal with world class competitors. It would have been far better if our athletes could get access to better infrastructure and get to play all across the country to stay practiced. Heads of sports organizations are simply people favored by the ruling party. They have no idea of the sports or their necessities and have chosen to leave the people who are serious about sports. There is lack of encouragement. Right from the very beginning, youth in India are discouraged from pursuing a career in sports. Our parents are obsessed with the likes of medical and engineering education, and for girls, the scenario is even worse with the list of drawbacks and hindrances they have to face before they could persuade their parents to allow them to play. Most of them are forced to quit sports in order to do something that would give them better job security. Athletes do not receive proper funding to meet their needs. Sportsmen do not have a constant source of income, and no help is given by the government in their early stages of training. Some research proves that the athletes of the leading nations are genetically and physically fitter than our people. They get proper nutrition that is required for a sports person with all the necessary elements, while our athletes rely on their own little efforts to stay strong and fit. Poor administration is also another reason. No proper governing of administrative issues is the prime concern with Indian sports. Our economy has been prospering, and allotment of funds to different fields of development has been improving with each year's budget. However, there is still relatively very less allotment of funds for sports given the sheer number of youths who are willing to take up sports seriously. We have got Indian Institute of Technologies and Indian Institute of Managements. But when will we get a dedicated sports university? We as a nation are corrupt to the core regarding sports. Corruption in sports ensures that affluent candidates score over talented candidates, and that is what refuses to recognize dedicated and talented sportsmen from smaller cities. Now, I will list out the improvements required that can be done to put our India on the top edge of the Olympic awards. Khelo India Youth Games, held annually in January or February, are the national level grassroots games in India held for two categories. Every year, nearly about 1,000 kids are given scholarships, which is not sufficient. India, being a developing country, cannot invest a major part of its economy in sports. India has a huge number of industrialists and businessmen who can easily encourage these talented athletes. We see a lot of marriages and public events sponsored by great business people.